Hi and welcome to this VisionServer demonstration video. The aim of this video is to show the kind of full applications that you can build using VisionServer. In this case, we're using VisionServer along with the Cognex Vision Pro software to create a sewing inspection on paper bags. This is a reasonable size application with over 15 pages in the HMI and a single camera with a number of image processing steps. So let's go ahead and take a look at the application. So I'll go into test mode. So this page is our main operator interface. You can see the current image, you can see a history of the last 5 images in the film strip. You can have the navigation bar at the bottom, some results on the right hand side, and some toolbar buttons at the top. So a user login, and acquire button, which we can use in this case because we're manually running through image files. So when I run some images through, you'll see that the film strip updates. In this case, they're all going to be passes because I'm only using images from our pass folder. You can see we count our statistics of number of passes, number of fails. I can reset these. And I can also, on the image display, toggle between the view of the stitching and the view of the bag outline to get a good idea whether the imaging is actually locating the bag correctly. This is the page the operator will spend most of their time on. The other pages are for setup, for archive viewing, and other operations. So let's go have a look at the settings page. So here on the settings page we have our recipe selection, so where we can save and load previously configured settings. We have a set of parameters that we can configure. We have a graphic display of, given our current settings, where what we expect the bag to look like. So let's go have a look at some of the advanced settings. So in the advanced settings we've got some settings for image and data logging. So we enable image recording, and we have some settings for how long we want to keep that data. So after 20 days we're going to delete old images. We have our product setup with our product list for the recipes, where we can add, remove recipe settings, and we can shut down, and we've got our edit users as well, so we can configure runtime users. So we'll go edit, and you can see we have an admin user here, but I can just enter in here a new user. I'll call operator. Caps, just enter, and then we'll give them none as a password. And then we'll give them operator as the user level, and we'll add that, and we've created the user. So that's the user setup. So let's go back to settings. I think we've covered all of that. So in addition to settings, we've got our results. So our results is our archived history of image processing results. So for every inspection we do, we record into the database the time, the ID of the bag, the location where the image file was saved, and a bunch of other parameters that we can expand to get access to: bag width, stitched percentage, as we need to. We can filter this list using the checkboxes, so we can only show failures, and of course we don't have any failures at the moment. But we can filter that down to the ones we're interested in. We can specify that we only want a certain number of rows displayed, so we get the most recent ones. When we click on a particular row in the table, You can see a thumbnail image is shown, so you can get a quick view of what it is, and then if you want more detail you can actually view that image, and it actually gives you up the top, it gives you the information about that particular inspection. And also what you can do is actually replay that image, so you can actually pass that image back through the image processing routine and actually view the results of the image processing steps on that particular image. So let's go back to the results page. You can export results to a CSV file to be taken elsewhere off the PC. We find that the data and image recording functionality of VisionServer is very powerful and very useful for supporting the application in the long run. So in addition to the results history, we also have an event log where we have system events, so things like user login, application shutting down, things like that. And that also can be exported. We also have alarms. So alarms are useful for alerting the operator to problems with the system. So this may be based on an input from a PLC. It may be something like conveyor stopped or camera disconnected. In this case we don't actually have any alarms because we're running this in simulation, but I can actually click test alarm. So when the alarm occurs, we get a flashing notification in the navigation bar, and obviously that is viewable from everywhere in the application, so the operator will very quickly notice that there's something wrong. So we can turn the alarm off, and we need to acknowledge that alarm before the alert disappears. We also get a history of all the alarm items, events in this table here. And finally, we have the Diagnostics page, which we can use to diagnose any issues with the image processing algorithm. In this case, we have a set of images showing graphics for each of the different image processing steps. We have some statistics for the most common reason a failure occurred. We have information about the camera I/O, and what we can do with each of these image processing steps is we can actually view each one in detail. So we might have a look at the bag outline edge finder result, and we can see the entire edge there, that entire bag. And then we can go to another step as well, for example stitching edge finder gaps, and get a more high resolution detailed view of that image. So that just gives you a quick overview of the kind of applications that you can build in VisionServer. Thanks for watching.